In the summer of 2022, a young rapper from the Bronx released a song that lasted less than 2 minutes. There was no massive radio campaign, no elaborate storyline, and no long-established fan base waiting for it. The music video was filmed in her neighborhood. The beat was dark and unmistakably New York. The rapper delivering the words sounded calm, confident, and almost completely unbothered. That song was Munch, Feelin' You. Within weeks, people across the internet were repeating its title. The word munch became part of popular slang. Drake publicly supported the record. Record labels began paying attention. Social media users copied Ice Spice's dance moves, debated her lyrics, imitated her appearance, and turned scenes from the video into memes. Suddenly, Ice Spice seemed to be everywhere. But her rise was not simply the story of one viral song. Behind that moment was a young woman who grew up surrounded by the sounds, pressures, contradictions, and survival instincts of the Bronx. She had attended college, worked ordinary jobs, experimented with different versions of herself, and slowly built a creative partnership with a producer who understood her voice. Her career would soon include collaborations with Nicki Minaj, Taylor Swift, Pink Pantheress, Rema, Travis Scott, Ghana, Central C, Latto, and other major artists. She would earn 4 Grammy nominations, appear on some of the biggest records in the world, perform on Saturday Night Live, headline a global tour, enter the worlds of fashion and advertising, become a Fortnite character, and begin an acting career under legendary filmmaker Spike Lee. The same internet that elevated her would also question her talent, attack her appearance, examine her friendships, spread rumors about her body, and turn private disagreements into public entertainment. Ice Spice became famous during an era when popularity could be measured instantly. Every song, outfit, interview, performance, and personal conflict could be turned into content. Every victory came with another debate about whether she deserved it. Her story is about the power of the internet, but it is also about timing, preparation, identity, branding, criticism, ambition, and the pressure of becoming a global celebrity before having time to fully understand what fame requires. Before she was Ice Spice, she was Isis Nijagaston. She was born on January 1st, 2000, in the Bronx, New York. Her arrival on New Year's Day gave her a natural connection to the beginning of the new millennium. Years later, that birthday would inspire the title of her debut studio album, Y2K. Her mother is Dominican American, and her father is African American. Her parents separated when she was approximately 2 years old, but Ice Spice has described maintaining relationships with both of them. She grew up as the oldest of 6 children, a position that brought a certain level of responsibility before fame ever entered her life. Her family lived around Fordham Road, one of the busiest areas of the Bronx. Fordham is filled with stores, apartment buildings, street vendors, buses, subway stations, schools, restaurants, and constant movement. It is the kind of neighborhood where multiple cultures, languages, musical styles, and generations exist within a few blocks. The Bronx carries enormous importance in music history. It is widely recognized as the birthplace of hip-hop, but it is also a borough shaped by economic inequality, neighborhood pride, immigration, creativity, and resilience. For Ice Spice, the Bronx was not a marketing idea created after she became famous. It was the environment that formed her personality and eventually became one of the central elements of her public identity. Her father had experience as an underground rapper. He introduced her to artists such as Jay-Z, 50 Cent, Jadakiss, DMX, and other major voices from New York hip-hop. Her mother played her own mixture of music, helping create a household in which Latin sounds, hip-hop, popular music, and Caribbean influences could exist together. Ice Spice has said that her father encouraged her musical instincts. When she was younger, he sometimes asked to hear her rap or suggested that she write about situations happening in her life. Long before she entered a recording studio, she was already writing poetry, experimenting with words, and creating private verses. She was also influenced by women who had already established powerful identities in New York rap. Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown, Remy Ma, Cardi B, and especially Nicki Minaj demonstrated different ways a woman could command attention in a male-dominated genre. Nicki Minaj became particularly important to her imagination. Ice Spice watched Nicki combine technical skill, humor, fashion, characters, confidence, and mainstream appeal. She saw a woman from New York become one of the most commercially successful rappers in history without abandoning the theatrical personality that made her distinctive. Ice Spice also absorbed inspiration from artists outside traditional rap categories. She has discussed listening to performers including Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill, Rihanna, Drake, Coldplay, and even alternative rock bands. Her taste was broader than the drill music with which she would eventually become associated. Her childhood was not entirely defined by music. She was interested in acting, writing, film, and television. At different points, she imagined becoming an actress, screenwriter, director, journalist, or media personality. Those ambitions reveal that she was interested not only in performing, but also in understanding how stories and images are created. Growing up in the Bronx exposed her to both community and danger. Ice Spice has described witnessing disturbing violence in her neighborhood, including people being seriously injured in public. Experiences like those can force children to understand the harsher side of life earlier than expected. She has also spoken about experiencing anger and emotional difficulty as a child. At one point, she carved a message into a dresser expressing that she hated her life. Her father noticed it and asked whether she was all right. She later remembered the importance of him paying attention and showing concern. These moments complicate the public image of Ice Spice as permanently relaxed and unaffected. Her calmness did not necessarily come from living without fear, frustration, or pain. It may have developed as a way of managing those emotions. At school, Ice Spice described herself as a popular loner. People were naturally attracted to her, but she maintained a smaller circle of close friends. That description would eventually match her public personality. She could attract millions of viewers while appearing emotionally distant from the chaos surrounding her. She attended a Catholic high school in Yonkers, outside the Bronx, and graduated in 2018. Being a mixed-race girl with naturally curly hair in an environment where many classmates looked different affected how she viewed herself. She has admitted that she once straightened her hair frequently because she wanted to blend in. She even remembered wishing that her hair would become naturally straight. The curls that she once tried to control would later become one of the most recognizable parts of her image. Before the orange curls became famous, Ice Spice experimented with different hairstyles, clothing, and presentations. Her eventual success arrived when she stopped trying to resemble someone else and began emphasizing the features that made her immediately identifiable. She also played volleyball in high school and continued playing after enrolling at the State University of New York at Purchase. At Purchase College, she studied communications. She considered careers in broadcasting, journalism, podcasting, or entertainment media. College placed her near other young artists and producers. Most importantly, it introduced her to Efrem Lopez Jr., professionally known as Riot USA. Riot USA was also from the Bronx and had grown up around music. His father is DJ Enough, a respected New York radio personality and DJ with deep connections to hip-hop. Riot understood both the traditions of New York rap and the newer sounds developing through drill, electronic music, and internet culture. Ice Spice and Riot USA began as friends. That friendship allowed them to experiment without the pressure that can exist when a major label places strangers in a studio and demands a hit. Their creative chemistry became one of the most important relationships in Ice Spice's career. Riot USA understood that her voice worked differently from many drill rappers. Bronx drill was often associated with aggressive delivery, threatening lyrics, forceful projection, and high-energy performances. Ice Spice possessed a deeper, softer, more conversational tone. She did not always sound like she was fighting the beat. She allowed the production to move around her words. Her calm delivery created a contrast with Riot's sliding bass, rapid percussion, electronic samples, and dark melodies. Instead of forcing Ice Spice to imitate louder performers, Riot built tracks that made her controlled delivery feel intentional. Ice Spice left college before completing her degree. She later lived with her grandmother and worked different jobs while attempting to determine her future. She babysat and spent time working in a warehouse connected to Billionaire Boys Club, the clothing company co-founded by Pharrell Williams and Nigo. Working in a warehouse was far removed from the glamorous world she would soon enter. She packed orders, listened to music, and continued recording whenever possible. Like many emerging artists, She lived between ordinary responsibilities and an ambition that had not yet produced financial security. Her first official release with Riot USA was Bully Freestyle, which arrived in March 2021. Around the same period, a video of Ice Spice participating in the popular Bus It challenge gained attention online. The viral video was not originally centered on her music, but it taught her something important. People were willing to stop scrolling and watch her. She had a natural presence that translated through a phone screen. Instead of treating that attention as meaningless, she directed viewers toward her music. Her early songs included Bully Freestyle, No Clarity, and Name of Love. These records allowed her and Riot to test different combinations of drill production, samples, melodic ideas, and conversational lyrics. No Clarity sampled elements associated with Zed's electronic hit Clarity. Placing a recognizable pop melody inside a drill structure demonstrated the creative formula Riot USA and Ice Spice were developing. They could combine familiar sounds with the energy of New York streets. The response to No Clarity was encouraging but limited. It did not immediately transform Ice Spice into a national celebrity. However, it showed that listeners responded when she appeared natural. Her curly hair, direct camera presence, relaxed confidence, and Bronx surroundings felt more authentic than earlier attempts to fit another image. Name of Love, released in 2022, attracted additional attention on SoundCloud and social media. Ice Spice was building momentum, but she still needed a record powerful enough to move beyond local recognition. That record became Munch, Feelin' You. Ice Spice and Riot USA created Munch, using a formula that appeared simple but was extremely effective. The production carried the movement of Bronx drill, but Ice Spice's delivery remained controlled. The hook was short, direct, and easy to repeat. The song dismissed a man who believed he had a more important position in her life than he actually did. Ice Spice reduced him to a munch, a person who was overly eager, obsessed, or willing to give attention without receiving equal commitment. The word existed before the song, but Ice Spice changed its cultural reach. After Munch, people who had never heard Bronx slang began using it in conversations, captions, videos, and jokes. The official music video was filmed around the Bronx. It featured neighborhood streets, a basketball court, friends, motorcycles, and the type of environment that felt immediate rather than manufactured. Ice Spice's orange curls and calm facial expressions made her stand out even when surrounded by movement. Munch was released in August 2022. Drake heard the record and sent Ice Spice a message praising both the song and her freestyle performance. He also played her music through his Sound 42 radio platform. A public endorsement from Drake carried enormous weight. He had already demonstrated an ability to influence which emerging artists entered mainstream conversation. His support told the industry that Ice Spice was worth watching. Drake reportedly invited Ice Spice and members of her team to Toronto during his OVO Fest period. For a young artist who had recently been working ordinary jobs, traveling on a private plane connected to one of the world's biggest rappers made her rise feel suddenly real. The Drake connection also produced rumors. Social media users questioned whether they were dating, whether a collaboration was coming, and whether they had experienced some type of disagreement. Ice Spice later made clear that she and Drake remained in communication, but were not as personally close as the internet sometimes assumed. The important result was visibility. Munch moved from a New York rap record into a national conversation. The video accumulated millions of views. Celebrities referenced it. Memes multiplied. Halloween costumes copied Ice Spice's outfit and hairstyle. The song appeared across TikTok, clubs, reaction channels, and music commentary. With attention came suspicion. Some critics labeled Ice Spice an industry plant, a term used to suggest that an artist's popularity has been secretly manufactured by powerful companies while being presented as organic. Her rise looked suspiciously fast to people who had not followed the earlier songs, local performances, social media posts, or years of experimentation. The fact that she soon signed with 10K Projects and Capitol Records strengthened those accusations. But major labels usually move quickly once an independent record has already demonstrated commercial potential. Munch gave Ice Spice leverage because it proved that she could attract attention without a traditional national campaign. The label deal provided distribution, financing, marketing, and access to larger opportunities. It did not invent the response to Munch, but it gave Ice Spice's team the resources to extend that moment. The challenge was now much larger. Viral success creates attention, but attention can disappear as quickly as it arrives. Ice Spice needed another record before the public became interested in someone else. She followed Munch with Bikini Bottom in October 2022. Riot USA built the beat around a playful melody that reminded listeners of the strange, cheerful energy associated with SpongeBob SquarePants. The title continued Ice Spice's ability to connect music with internet humor. It also demonstrated that she understood her audience. Her listeners did not require every record to present a serious street narrative. They appreciated references to cartoons, fashion, relationships, food, social media, and everyday language. By the end of 2022, Ice Spice had become one of rap's most discussed newcomers. Interview magazine paired her in conversation with Erykah Badu and Badu's daughter, Puma Curry. During the interview, Ice Spice discussed the meaning of Munch, her musical influences, her faith, and her desire to create music for women. She described prayer as an important part of how she managed criticism. She said she tried to stay away from negative comments and focus on the positive attention surrounding her career. That strategy would become increasingly difficult. On January 20th, 2023, Ice Spice released her debut extended play Like. The original project contained 6 songs and lasted only about 13 minutes. Its short length fit the streaming era. Ice Spice's songs rarely wasted time on extended introductions, long bridges, or multiple unnecessary verses. They were designed to deliver a mood quickly and leave listeners ready to replay them. Like included Munch, Bikini Bottom, In Ha Mood, Princess Diana, Gangsta Boo with Lil TJ, and Actin' a Smoochie. Riot USA served as the project's central producer and creative partner. The EP reinforced the musical identity that Ice Spice had introduced: Bronx drill rhythms, Jersey club influences, playful samples, short hooks, relationship commentary, confident insults, and an intentionally understated delivery. Gangsta Boo, featuring Lil TJ, sampled I Need a Girl, Part 2, the early 2000s hit associated with Diddy, Genuine, Loon, and Mario Winans. The record became Ice Spice's first appearance on the Billboard Hot 100. That achievement answered one question, but created another. Could she move beyond viral recognition and produce major national hits? The answer arrived almost immediately. British singer and producer PinkPantheress had released Boy's a Liar, a short, emotional pop record built around romantic disappointment and bright electronic production. The song already had online momentum, but PinkPantheress believed Ice Spice could bring something different to a remix. Boy's a Liar, Part 2, was released in February 2023. The collaboration worked because the artists shared several qualities despite coming from different musical environments. Both used soft, recognizable voices. Both created short songs suited to repeat listening. Both understood the culture of TikTok without sounding as though they were simply following instructions from a marketing department. Ice Spice's verse and appearance in the New York filmed video helped turn the remix into an international hit. The song reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. Only months after Munch, Ice Spice now had a top 3 record. Boy's a Liar, Part 2, expanded her audience beyond drill and traditional hip-hop. Pop listeners, international audiences, and radio programmers who might never have embraced a harder Bronx record were now hearing her voice. The success also proved that her calm delivery could function outside Riot USA's production. Ice Spice did not need to become a completely different performer to enter pop music. She could bring her established personality into another artist's world. Her next major collaboration carried even greater personal meaning. Princess Diana had appeared on Like, before receiving a remix featuring Nicki Minaj. The original song compared Ice Spice's growing popularity to the public fascination once surrounding Princess Diana. Fans had already begun calling Ice Spice the People's Princess, a nickname connecting her approachable image with a figure remembered for attracting enormous public affection. Nicki Minaj had been Ice Spice's childhood inspiration. When Nicki publicly supported her and agreed to appear on the Princess Diana remix, Ice Spice moved from studying one of her heroes to recording beside her. The remix was released in April 2023. It became the first official release connected to Nicki Minaj's Heavy On It label and reached number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. The record also reached number 1 on Billboard's Hot Rap Songs chart. It marked a historic moment as the first co-billed collaboration between two women to lead that chart since the chart's creation. For Ice Spice, the collaboration represented more than commercial success. Nicki became a mentor who could explain lessons that were difficult to discuss publicly. Few people understood the pressures facing a highly visible woman in rap better than Nicki Minaj. Nicki advised Ice Spice to observe the industry carefully, learn from other artists' mistakes, protect her position, and remain focused. Ice Spice repeatedly expressed admiration for Nicki's career and influence. Years of dreaming had become reality within approximately 2 years of recording her first song. Then Taylor Swift called. Taylor Swift was preparing an expanded edition of her album Midnights and wanted Ice Spice to appear on a remix of Karma. The collaboration placed Ice Spice beside the biggest pop star in the world. The Karma remix arrived in May 2023. Ice Spice performed with Swift during the Eras Tour shows at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, appearing before enormous crowds only a short distance from the Bronx. The record reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming Ice Spice's highest charting song. Swift praised Ice Spice's focus, professionalism, self-awareness, and understanding of the music business. Ice Spice said that Swift gave her simple but important advice. Continue making music, because as long as the work continues, everything can eventually work itself out. The collaboration was surrounded by controversy because Swift was publicly connected at the time to Matty Healy of the 1975. Healy had previously participated in a podcast conversation containing offensive comments and jokes about Ice Spice. Some observers accused Swift of using the Ice Spice collaboration to protect her own image. However, Ice Spice stated that Swift's team had approached her before the public controversy reached its height. Ice also said she was confused when she first heard what had been said about her, and that Healy later apologized privately. For Ice Spice, Karma was not presented as a response to internet controversy. It was an opportunity to work with a global superstar and enter another level of the music industry. The public friendship between Ice Spice and Taylor Swift became an attraction of its own. They were photographed together at award shows, concerts, parties, and the 2024 Super Bowl. Their connection surprised people who assumed that artists from different backgrounds, genres, and generations could not develop a genuine relationship. Ice Spice's next major record returned her to Nicki Minaj. Barbie World, created for the Barbie movie soundtrack, sampled Aqua's 1997 hit Barbie Girl. The record combined Nicki Minaj's long-established Barbie identity with Ice Spice's position as one of the newest women dominating popular rap. Riot USA helped produce the track, connecting a sound rooted in the Bronx with one of the largest movie campaigns of 2023. Barbie World debuted inside the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100 and ultimately peaked at number 7. Within a matter of months, Ice Spice had achieved 4 top 10 singles: Boy's a Liar, Part 2, Princess Diana, Karma, and Barbie World. Very few new artists experience a run of that size, especially before releasing a full studio album. Ice Spice expanded with a deluxe edition in July 2023. New songs included How High, Butterfly Coup, Deli, and Her on the Radar Freestyle. Deli became the largest hit from the deluxe release. Its Jersey club influence, dance-centered video, and celebration of New York culture gave Ice Spice another highly recognizable record. The song reached the Billboard Hot 100 and inspired another wave of social media videos. By this point, Ice Spice's image had become inseparable from her music. Her orange curls made her instantly recognizable. Her clothing often combined early 2000s fashion, streetwear, short skirts, designer pieces, bright colors, and playful accessories. She could appear glamorous without losing the impression that she was still connected to the neighborhood shown in the Munch video. Her appearance generated admiration and criticism. Some supporters celebrated her natural hair and saw her success as meaningful representation for mixed-race and light-skinned black women with curls. Others argued that colorism and conventional beauty standards made the industry more willing to promote her than darker-skinned women. Ice Spice acknowledged that colorism existed and that her appearance could influence how people responded to her. At the same time, she rejected the idea that her achievements were based entirely on complexion or physical attraction. The debate reflected a much larger issue inside entertainment. Talent, beauty standards, marketing, race, gender, and opportunity are rarely separated cleanly. Ice Spice benefited from having a highly marketable image, but she also demonstrated an ability to create memorable language and recognize the type of content her generation wanted to replay. Her critics attacked her technical skills as a rapper. They argued that her lyrics were too simple, her flow was repetitive, her performances lacked energy, and Riot USA's production carried too much of the music. Ice Spice did not pretend to approach writing like a traditional battle rapper. She described her lyrics as simple and digestible. Her records were built around mood, rhythm, personality, and memorable phrases rather than dense storytelling or complicated rhyme patterns. That simplicity became both her greatest commercial strength and the center of criticism against her. Popular music has always included artists whose importance comes from presence as much as technique. Ice Spice's low-key delivery allowed listeners to repeat her lyrics easily. Her best records sounded like casual statements that had been placed inside powerful production. Her music also introduced a different type of energy into drill. The genre had often been criticized for violent lyrics and real-world conflicts. Ice Spice used drill production to discuss attraction, betrayal, jealousy, confidence, fashion, and social status. She did not remove the hardness from the music, but she redirected it. Her success arrived during a major period for women in rap. Nicki Minaj remained a dominant veteran. Cardi B had proven that a woman rapper could become a mainstream superstar. Megan Thee Stallion, Doja Cat, Latto, Glorilla, Coi Leray, Sexy Red, Flo Milli, City Girls, and other performers were creating different versions of female confidence. Ice Spice entered that crowded environment with a personality that felt immediately recognizable. She did not scream for attention. She acted as though attention naturally belonged to her. Her fan base became known as the Munchkins, a name created from the record that changed her life. The Munchkins defended her online, streamed her releases, copied her style, and helped turn every new song into an event. Corporate brands quickly recognized her value. Ice Spice appeared in campaigns connected to Beyoncé's Ivy Park and Adidas. She worked with fashion companies and attended major events including the Met Gala. She partnered with Dunkin' on the Ice Spice Munchkins drink, appearing in an advertisement with actor and filmmaker Ben Affleck. The Dunkin' campaign was a natural combination of her fan name, the company's Munchkins product, and the enormous popularity of Munch. It demonstrated how quickly one piece of slang could become a commercial brand. She appeared in a Super Bowl advertisement for Starry. She worked with companies including Marc Jacobs, Schemes, and other major fashion or lifestyle brands. An official Ice Spice Chia pet was even created around her recognizable hairstyle. These deals established that Ice Spice was no longer simply selling music. She was selling familiarity. Consumers could recognize her voice, hair, expressions, slang, and personality within seconds. In September 2023, she won Best New Artist at the MTV Video Music Awards. She became emotional during her acceptance speech and thanked her fans, manager, producer Riot USA, labels, God, and the Bronx. The emotion revealed how much the moment meant beneath her relaxed exterior. Less than 2 years earlier, she had been recording early songs with a college friend. Now she was accepting a major award in front of the international music industry. She also received the Breakthrough Hip Hop Artist Award at the 2023 BET Hip Hop Awards. In October 2023, Ice Spice released Pretty Girl with Nigerian star Rema. The collaboration combined her understated rap style with Rema's melodic Afrobeats approach. One day after the song's release, Ice Spice made her debut as a musical guest on Saturday Night Live. Taylor Swift appeared unexpectedly to introduce one of her performances. Ice Spice performed in Ha Mood and brought out Rema for Pretty Girl. Appearing on Saturday Night Live represented another important transition. The show had introduced generations of musicians to mainstream American audiences. Ice Spice was now being treated as more than an internet trend. She continued performing at major festivals and joined Doja Cat's Scarlet Tour. Touring presented a new challenge because the skills required to make short viral songs are different from the skills required to command an arena. Ice Spice had to improve her breath control, staging, choreography, endurance, audience interaction, and ability to maintain attention beyond a short video clip. Some critics questioned her early performances, arguing that she relied too heavily on backing tracks or appeared uncertain on large stages. Those criticisms were not unusual for an artist who became famous before years of touring experience. Ice Spice had entered major venues while still learning how to perform at that level. At the beginning of 2024, she received 4 Grammy nominations. She was nominated for Best New Artist. Barbie World earned nominations for Best Rap Song and Best Song Written for Visual Media. Karma earned a nomination for Best Pop Duo or Group Performance. Ice Spice did not win, but earning 4 nominations so early confirmed the scale of her 2023 breakthrough. She received the Hitmaker Award at Billboard's 2024 Women in Music celebration. The honor recognized the extraordinary run of successful records that had carried her from Munch to international pop collaborations. The difficult question was what came next. A viral newcomer can survive on excitement for a limited period. A lasting artist eventually needs a body of work that establishes a larger identity. Ice Spice had released an EP filled with successful songs, but she had not yet delivered a full studio album. Her debut album would be called Y2K, a reference to both her January 1st, 2000 birthday and the visual culture associated with the turn of the millennium. The Y2K concept fit Ice Spice naturally. Her fashion had already embraced early 2000s trends. Her music frequently used samples and references connected to the era. She was born at the exact moment when the world was celebrating a new millennium while worrying that computer systems might fail. The title allowed her to connect her personal history, fashion, music, and branding inside one idea. In January 2024, Ice Spice released Think You the Shit, Fart. The song grew from a preview that became viral because of its humorous central insult. It reached number 37 on the Billboard Hot 100. The record demonstrated her continued instinct for language that could produce instant reactions. It also increased criticism that she relied on shock value, toilet humor, and short phrases rather than deeper writing. Listeners interpreted parts of the song as possible references to Latto. For months, fans had studied social media posts, video backgrounds, lyrics, and performance choices for evidence of tension between the two rappers. Latto later released lines that listeners believed were aimed at Ice Spice. Ice performed Think You the Shit with imagery that appeared to continue the exchange. Neither woman initially treated it like a serious personal war, but online audiences built a complete feud from indirect references. The situation demonstrated how female rappers are often placed into competition. A lyric that might be treated as ordinary boasting from a male rapper can become evidence of a major personal conflict when performed by a woman. Ice Spice continued preparing Y2K. In April 2024, she appeared on the remix of Cash Cobain and Bay Swag's Fisher. The collaboration connected her with the growing New York sexy drill movement, a softer and more romantic variation of drill production. In May, she released Gimme a Light, which sampled Sean Paul's early 2000s dancehall hit, Gimme the Light. The record combined another Y2K era reference with Riot USA's modern production. In June, she released Fat But, a harder song that referenced the influence of Nicki Minaj's early mixtape energy. Ice Spice also directed the accompanying video herself, reflecting her growing interest in visual control. The song addressed critics who believe she did not write her own lyrics. Ice Spice insisted that she was responsible for her writing and rejected ghostwriting accusations. In July 2024, she released Did It First with British rapper Central C. The song was built around both artists admitting that they would respond to betrayal with betrayal of their own. The chemistry between Ice Spice and Central C produced dating rumors. Those rumors became entangled with Central C's previous relationship with influencer Madeline RG. RG publicly discussed feeling that the collaboration and surrounding appearances had been used as part of a marketing strategy. Ice Spice described Central C as a friend. Whether or not the speculation was encouraged for promotion, the attention helped keep Did It First in public conversation. Y2K was released on July 26, 2024. The standard album contained 10 tracks and lasted approximately 23 minutes. Its features included Central C, Travis Scott, and Ghana. The short runtime continued Ice Spice's commitment to immediacy. Y2K did not attempt to transform her into a traditional album-oriented storyteller. It presented an intensified version of her established personality. The opening track, Fat But, placed her in direct confrontation with critics. Oh Shoe, featuring Travis Scott, connected her with one of modern rap's largest touring artists. The music video placed Ice Spice in the role of a modern Statue of Liberty, turning her into a symbol of New York while the city burned around her. Hopa and BB Belt continued the project's aggressive, compact sound. Plenty Sun used a darker atmosphere. Did It First offered the Central C collaboration, while Gimme a Light provided the Sean Paul sample. TTYL, Think You the Shit, Fart, and Bitch I'm Packin', featuring Ghana, completed the standard release. Musically, Y2K remained centered on drill, but it experimented with rage production, Jersey club movement, distorted bass, unusual electronic textures, and faster flows. Ice Spice sounded more forceful than she had on Munch. She attempted different vocal rhythms and placed more aggression into her delivery. The production was often louder, stranger, and more chaotic than the warm, playful sound associated with Like. The album received mixed reviews. Supporters argued that Y2K was concise, confident, and sonically adventurous. They praised Riot USA's production and Ice Spice's willingness to avoid a safe collection of obvious pop records. Critics argued that the writing remained limited, the songs felt underdeveloped, the subject matter repeated itself, and the album did not fully answer questions about her long-term growth. Y2K debuted at number 18 on the Billboard 200 with approximately 28,000 album equivalent units in its first week. That represented Ice Spice's largest album week, but the numbers were considered disappointing by observers who compared them to the enormous visibility of her 2023 singles. The comparison was not completely equal. Several of Ice Spice's biggest hits, including Boy's a Liar, Part 2, Karma, and Barbie World, belonged to other projects and were not included on Y2K. The album also avoided filling its track list with older successful songs simply to increase streaming totals. Still, Y2K revealed a gap between Ice Spice's celebrity and the size of the audience willing to consume an entire project. She responded to the criticism by celebrating the album's top 20 debut. From her perspective, reaching number 18 with a short debut rap album remained an achievement. The Y2K World Tour carried the album across North America and international markets. Cash Cobain joined portions of the tour, strengthening the connection between Ice Spice and New York's newer drill movement. Touring gave Ice Spice an opportunity to develop as a live performer, but the tour also created one of the most public personal conflicts of her career. Rapper Cleotrapa, who had previously been friendly with Ice Spice, joined part of the tour as an opening performer. After leaving the tour, Cleotrapa posted a lengthy series of videos accusing Ice Spice and members of her team of mistreating her. Cleotrapa alleged that she had been invited with little notice, had not been properly compensated, sometimes lacked adequate dressing room access, paid certain travel or hotel expenses herself, and felt excluded from food and other tour arrangements. The discussion became widely known online through references to Cleotrapa allegedly being denied a chicken salad. What sounded humorous as a meme represented a larger complaint about respect, communication, expectations, and the treatment of an opening artist. Ice Spice rejected Cleotrapa's characterization. She said she had invited Cleotrapa because she wanted to provide an opportunity and had shared her stage with an artist who possessed a much smaller audience. Ice Spice and her manager argued that opening performers do not automatically receive the same accommodations as headliners, and that Cleotrapa's team should have understood the business arrangement before accepting. Cleotrapa maintained that the issue was not celebrity treatment, but promises that she believed had been made privately. The disagreement became ugly. Both sides exchanged insults, and private messages circulated online. Without a clear written agreement available to the public, outsiders could not independently confirm every disputed detail. The controversy demonstrated the dangers of mixing friendship and business without clearly established expectations. Ice Spice viewed the invitation as generosity. Cleotrapa viewed it as a professional commitment that had been handled carelessly. Around the same period, private messages allegedly involving Ice Spice and former friend Baby Storm circulated online. Some messages appeared to show Ice Spice criticizing Nicki Minaj during contract negotiations. Ice Spice later addressed the situation. She said the comments had come during a moment of frustration and that she could have chosen different words. However, she maintained that she respected Nicki Minaj as an artist and appreciated what Nicki had done for her career and for hip-hop culture. The incident complicated the public image of their mentor relationship. It also provided an example of how private frustration can become permanent public evidence once screenshots are released. Artists can admire one another while disagreeing over business. But online fan communities often demand complete loyalty. Any criticism can be interpreted as betrayal, especially when the people involved possess large and highly protective fan bases. Ice Spice also faced intense public discussion about her body. During the Y2K era, observers noticed that she had lost weight. Social media users immediately accused her of using Ozempic or another weight loss drug. Ice Spice initially denied those claims and attributed the change to exercising, eating differently, and the physical demands of touring. She expressed frustration that people treated medication as the only possible explanation for weight loss. The discussion showed how little privacy women receive once their bodies become part of their public brand. When Ice Spice was Kavya, people analyzed her body. When she lost weight, they analyzed her body again. Every change became evidence for a new rumor. In February 2026, Ice Spice gave a more personal explanation. Responding to renewed accusations, she said depression had contributed to her weight loss and added that she was doing better. That brief admission changed the meaning of the conversation. What the internet had treated as celebrity gossip was connected, according to Ice Spice herself, to a period of emotional difficulty. Her statement reminded listeners that the relaxed public personality associated with Ice Spice did not make her immune to depression, pressure, isolation, or exhaustion. By the end of 2024, Ice Spice expanded Y2K with a deluxe edition titled Y2K, I'm Just a Girl. The expanded project added 5 songs and featured artists including Innelli Choppa, DaBaby, BB Tricks, and Annual AA. Hannah Montana, featuring Innelli Choppa and DaBaby, used the famous fictional pop star name to represent a glamorous double life. The deluxe edition attempted to extend the album's world while maintaining the short, aggressive style of the original. Ice Spice also entered the universe of Fortnite during the game's remix season. She appeared as a character and boss connected to a redesigned version of Shark Island. Players could acquire Ice Spice-themed cosmetic items and interact with her presence inside one of the world's largest games. The Fortnite collaboration placed her alongside Snoop Dogg, Eminem, and the late Juice WRLD during a major in-game event. It introduced Ice Spice to younger audiences who might recognize her character before understanding her complete music career. Her involvement reflected the changing meaning of celebrity. Musicians were no longer limited to albums, radio, touring, and television. They could exist as digital characters, branded drinks, fashion models, memes, movie performers, and interactive entertainment. In 2025, Ice Spice began moving more seriously into film. She joined the cast of Highest to Lowest, directed by Spike Lee and starring Denzel Washington, A$AP Rocky, Jeffrey Wright, and Ilfinish Hadera. The film reinterpreted Akira Kurosawa's classic crime drama High and Low within modern New York's music industry. Denzel Washington played a powerful record executive forced into a moral crisis involving kidnapping and ransom. Ice Spice appeared as Marisol Cepeda. Although her role was limited compared with the central stars, the project marked her feature film acting debut. The opportunity carried personal significance. As a child, Ice Spice had imagined working in film, acting, writing, or directing. Her mother had once discouraged her from pursuing film school because of the uncertainty involved. Years later, music brought her onto a set with Spike Lee, one of the most important filmmakers in New York history. Highest to Lowest premiered at the Cannes Film Festival in 2025 before receiving a theatrical release and streaming through Apple TV+. Ice Spice's participation demonstrated that her entertainment career could continue beyond music. Her calm screen presence, recognizable voice, and interest in storytelling created possibilities for future acting roles. Her music career also entered a new phase. In 2025, Ice Spice appeared on a remix of Gnarly by the global girl group Cat's Eye. The collaboration connected her with another act shaped by internet culture, international audiences, choreography, and highly active online fandom. In September 2025, she finally collaborated with Latto on Giant. The wrestling-themed music video presented the two rappers as partners rather than enemies. Their collaboration ended years of online speculation about a feud. Ice Spice later stated that the conflict had never been a deeply serious personal beef. Much of it had been built from competitive lyrics, fan interpretations, indirect references, and misunderstanding. Giant showed that collaboration could attract more attention than continuing the conflict. It also challenged the expectation that successful women in rap must remain divided into permanent rival camps. Later that month, Ice Spice released Batty Batty. The song sampled Bad Girls by MIA and reunited Ice Spice with Riot USA. The release began another creative period after Y2K. Its sample connected Ice Spice with a record famous for combining global sounds, rebellious fashion, and striking visual imagery. Batty Batty also addressed the continuing public fascination with Ice Spice's body and image. Instead of allowing the discussion to remain entirely in the hands of critics, she incorporated it into her music. In November 2025, Ice Spice released Big Guy for the SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants. The opportunity created a full-circle connection to Bikini Bottom, one of the records that followed Munch in 2022. Ice Spice had long expressed affection for SpongeBob SquarePants and described the character's constant desire to work as strangely inspirational. Big Guy became a viral moment of its own. Its simple SpongeBob-centered hook inspired memes, remixes, dances, and jokes across social media. Ice Spice also made her voice acting debut in the movie as an animated fish character styled with curls resembling her signature hair. A rapper who had once used a SpongeBob-inspired beat to extend her early career was now officially part of the SpongeBob universe. In December 2025, Ice Spice released Thudi with Dominican rapper and performer Takisha. The collaboration was filmed in the Dominican Republic and allowed Ice Spice to connect publicly with her Dominican heritage. It also marked the first time audiences heard her rap using Spanish in an official record. Working with Takisha moved Ice Spice into dembow, a fast and highly rhythmic genre deeply connected to Dominican culture. The song expanded her musical identity beyond New York drill and mainstream American pop collaborations. It also carried personal meaning. Ice Spice had grown up as the daughter of a Dominican mother and an African-American father, but much of her early career had been presented primarily through her Bronx identity. Thudi allowed her to honor another side of her background without abandoning the New York personality that had made her famous. By 2026, Ice Spice had already experienced several careers within one. She had been an independent Bronx rapper recording with a college friend. She had been a TikTok discovery. She had been accused of being an industry plant. She had been a pop collaborator standing beside Taylor Swift. She had worked with her childhood idol Nicki Minaj. She had become a Grammy nominee, fashion figure, advertising personality, touring headliner, video game character, actress, and voice performer. All of that happened before her 27th birthday. The speed of the journey is essential to understanding both her achievements and her difficulties. Earlier generations of performers sometimes spent years developing privately before facing international judgment. Ice Spice developed while millions of people watched. Every stage of improvement was recorded, uploaded, criticized, and compared with the work of established stars. She entered the industry during a period when music was becoming shorter and visual identity was becoming more important. Social media rewarded recognizable moments. Streaming rewarded repeat listening. Memes could carry a song farther than traditional advertising. Listeners often decided within seconds whether to continue watching. Ice Spice was naturally suited to that environment. Her appearance was immediately recognizable. Her voice was easy to identify. Her songs reached the hook quickly. Her lyrics created captions. Her calm expressions could become reaction images. Her personality allowed audiences to project different ideas onto her. To supporters, she represented confidence, natural beauty, Bronx culture, female independence, queer inclusion, and a new direction for drill music. To critics, she represented an industry too focused on appearance, short attention spans, viral marketing, and simple lyrics. Both interpretations help explain her importance. Ice Spice did not invent internet fame, but her career became one of its clearest examples. Munch demonstrated how a neighborhood record could enter global language. Boy's a Liar, Part 2, demonstrated how two internet-era artists could combine audiences. Princess Diana, Karma, and Barbie World showed how quickly a newcomer could enter the highest level of celebrity collaboration. Y2K demonstrated the limits of visibility. Millions of people could recognize an artist without all of them becoming album listeners. Fame did not automatically remove the need for artistic development. The public conflicts involving Cleotrapa, Baby Storm, Nicki Minaj, and Latto revealed another cost. Once a person becomes famous, private relationships can become business arrangements, and private disagreements can become entertainment for strangers. The discussion about Ice Spice's weight revealed how celebrity culture can ignore humanity. People debated her body as though it belonged to the public. Her later statement about depression reminded the audience that physical changes may carry emotional stories invisible to outsiders. Through every stage, Riot USA remained a central creative figure. The partnership between Ice Spice and Riot was not simply a producer sending beats to a famous rapper. Their collaboration began before either possessed major commercial success. Riot helped design the sound that introduced her, and Ice Spice gave his production a voice and personality that could reach audiences far beyond drill. Together, they used unexpected samples, sliding bass, electronic melodies, Jersey club rhythms, dembow influences, and short song structures. Their work showed how Bronx drill could become playful, feminine, romantic, humorous, and commercially accessible without completely losing its local character. Ice Spice's greatest artistic challenge remains growth. The qualities that made her famous can become limitations if repeated without development. A calm delivery can become predictable. Simple lyrics can become forgettable. Short songs can leave ideas unfinished. A strong image can overshadow the music supporting it. But changing too quickly carries its own risk. If Ice Spice abandons the personality people originally loved, listeners may accuse her of becoming manufactured. Her career therefore exists inside a difficult balance. Evolve without losing identity, improve without sounding desperate for approval, and expand beyond virality while continuing to understand the internet better than the people criticizing her. Taylor Swift's advice remains relevant. Keep making music. Ice Spice cannot control every rumor, comment, review, meme, comparison, or prediction. She can control whether she continues working. Her journey from Fordham Road to international stages already represents an extraordinary cultural rise. She took a voice that did not resemble the loudest figures in drill and made its calmness an advantage. She transformed a dismissive word into a worldwide expression. She turned curls she once tried to straighten into a signature recognized across the world. She entered rooms with some of the most powerful artists in music without completely changing the relaxed personality that brought her there. The future of Ice Spice will not be determined by whether every song becomes another Munch. No artist can recreate the surprise of a first breakthrough forever. Her future will be determined by what she builds after the surprise is gone. Can she deepen her writing? Can she create a full album that matches the cultural power of her singles? Can she grow as a performer, actress, and businesswoman? Can she protect her mental health while living inside an industry that turns vulnerability into content? Those questions remain unanswered. What is already clear is that Ice Spice changed the sound and appearance of early 2020s popular culture. The orange curls, quiet voice, Bronx drill production, Y2K fashion, munchkins, cartoon references, and effortless expressions became symbols of a specific moment in music. She represented a generation that discovered songs through phone screens, communicated through memes, mixed genres without permission, and refused to separate music from visual identity. Her career began with a young woman and a producer experimenting together at college. It grew through local records, social media videos, and a song filmed in the Bronx. It expanded through collaborations with international stars and brands powerful enough to place her image almost anywhere. But beneath the marketing, arguments, chart positions, fashion, and viral language remains Isis Gaston, the oldest sister from Fordham Road who once imagined becoming a filmmaker, wrote private raps, worked ordinary jobs, and wondered whether music could provide a different life. She found that different life faster than almost anyone expected. The rise brought wealth, opportunity, recognition, criticism, conflict, and emotional pressure. It gave her access to the artists she once studied and the movie sets she once imagined. It also placed the responsibility for what happens next directly in her hands. Ice Spice is no longer simply the Munch Girl. She is no longer only a viral newcomer. She has survived the first explosion of attention, released a complete studio album, toured internationally, crossed into film and gaming, and begun connecting her Bronx identity with her Dominican heritage. The next stage will reveal whether she becomes remembered mainly as the face of a viral era or as an artist who used that era as the beginning of something much larger. Either way, her arrival has already been recorded in music history. A young woman from the Bronx delivered one short song in a calm voice, and the entire world learned the language she was speaking. That is the story of Ice Spice. If you enjoyed this content, please share and subscribe.